Copy. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to John Young Field on the Hamlin Sports Complex in Springfield, Oregon. This is your home for Doc Stewarts baseball. Tonight, the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts take on the Willamette Valley Titans in an Area 4 doubleheader on the road in Springfield. And we welcome you in tonight as the Doc Stewarts look to rebound after a tough night last night at home where they lost 2 games against the Eugene Challengers and fell into a tie for 3rd place with the Grants Pass Nuggets. A little bit of redemption could be on the horizon for the Docs as they try to take down first place Willamette Valley tonight, who sits 3 games ahead of the Doc Stewarts in the current Area 4 standings. A big matchup on the Area 4s tonight as the Docs look to put 2 games last night behind them and try to take at least 1 out of 2 on the road here against the Titans tonight. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey Kieran. Happy to have you with us here on a Tuesday night from Springfield out at the Hamlin Sports Complex here at John Young Field. Nice facility that continues to get an upgrade each and every time it seems like I come here. They add something new to this facility, and they have turned it into a nice little ballpark for the Willamette Valley Titans. It's also the home of, I believe, the Springfield Millers during the spring season as well. But a nice place to catch a ball game here tonight on what is a cool but comfortable night in Springfield. A little breezy, overcast yet again, much like last night was there in Roseburg. Dr. Stewarts will try to beat some of those gloomy blues after a tough night last night where they lost Game 1 after falling out of the lead in the 7th inning. And the Doc Stewarts in Game 2 let some of the disappointment from letting a lead slip away late in the contest, let that stick around in Game 2, and they fall 6-3 in the nightcap against the Eugene Challengers yesterday. And so now they will try to bounce back as they take on the Titans, who are coming off of a pair of wins against the Grants Pass Nuggets last night down at Reinhardt Volunteer Park in Grants Pass. Big matchup coming up today with a lot on the line for the Doc Stewarts, who look to try and stay in that race for a postseason berth. We'll talk more about today's matchup with head coach Jeremiah Robbins right around the corner here on our Supercuts pregame show. Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. I want to remind everybody tonight's broadcast is here on the radio, but it's also streaming live online at 541radio.com, where you'll be able to watch the Doc Stewarts throughout the season. You can also catch the Docs on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Check out video broadcasts there of tonight's game as well as past games and future games coming up we'll have there on the YouTube channel as well. So make sure you follow Doc Stewarts Baseball online, where you can catch the team throughout the season, streaming with those games when you can't make it out to the ball game. We'll talk with head coach Jeremiah Robbins when we come back as we get our pregame coaches interview. Continue with more of your Supercuts pregame show after this 2-minute break on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
We'll check it here in a second. On CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Doc Stewarts back into Area 4 League play again here tonight as they head on the road to Springfield to take on the Willamette Valley Titans. Joining us in the pregame, it's head coach Jeremiah Robbins. Coach, last night a tough one to kind of swallow. Do you look back at the doubleheader against Eugene? Both come out on the wrong side of things for you guys. Do you look at it and think maybe kind of a what-if night for the Doc Stewarts?
Very much so. And I think the biggest disappointment is we just went flat after we dropped the first game. And we've been talking to them about the competitive atmosphere of our conference, and when you're playing double headers like we are doing, being able to play complete 14 inning games, and our guys didn't do it, and obviously that second game got away from us. And it just goes back to kind of the competitive nature that we're trying to create with this team, and it's going to take a little bit of time, and we understand that, but when you drop 2 at home, obviously that's not good. We don't like that.
Yeah, and the Doc Stewarts now will try to bounce back. What kind of things besides a message to them last night, and I'm sure you guys got on the road maybe a little bit earlier, or maybe you guys get a chance to practice here before, what kind of things have you guys done to try and maybe get these guys into the right mind space, getting ready for another doubleheader here tonight against another tough team?
I think the big thing is 16 guys need to draw a line and define who they want to be this year. What kind of club do they want to be, and how far they want to go with this. I mean, picking and choosing when you're going to show up to compete, that doesn't work. I mean, our record is a great example of that. I mean, when we show up and we're competing and we're a complete team and guys supporting each other, we're pretty stinking good. But when we don't do that, we're just not very good. So they need to commit to this thing. When they do that, we'll be doing some pretty special things.
Tonight you guys take on the Willamette Valley Titans, who come in first place. They come off of a sweep on the road, which, as we've discussed, is not an easy thing to do in Area 4, no matter who you're taking on. And now you guys get to come to their place here. Looking at this matchup, besides maybe the mental side of the game here tonight, what kind of things do you guys look to try and accomplish out there here this evening?
Well, we got to hit and hit with runners in scoring position. That's one thing that snake bit us last night. We had plenty of runners on to score a lot more runs than we did, and we just gave away way too many at bats. So we got to focus on that. We had those guys in so many 2-strike counts last night. We just couldn't bury a guy. So we've been focused with that. Coach Kearns has been on those pitchers, trying to create a more competitive mindset on the mound, and that's the one thing about this club. We got all the talent that we'd ever want. I mean, there's plenty of guys running around on this club that can really play the game of baseball, but getting their mindset and just going out and performing at a high level and having an expectation that your teammates are going to back you and seeing what happens. This team worries a lot, and we need to get out of that worry piece because we're too good to be worrying about stuff. We got, like I said, we got plenty of talent. We can play this game very well, but we just need to compete in every situation, on the bases, on the mound, in the field, and obviously in the batter's box. And once we get consistent with that, you'll see a team that does some very good things.
Willamette Valley, a team we've obviously heard plenty about, currently leading things in Area 4. They were there at the tournament down there, but the Docs have not faced them yet so far. What kind of scouting report do you have on the Titans here for us tonight?
Well, they're good. Obviously, with what the South Eugene team, there are a lot of South Eugene kids on this club, and they're competitive. I mean, they're rolling right now. They got a good vibe going. Obviously, coming off of a big sweep down at GP, and I think the second game was 20-5. So we've got a good look on them. They can hit. They're kind of like another Area 4 team. If you're not ready to play, they'll boat race you, and this will be a 5-inning game. So we got to show up and be ready to go. Very well coached. A lot of respect for Coach Sales and what he does, and Coach Wolf and their staff. So they get after it. We better be ready.
All right, we look forward to it tonight. Doubleheader, Doc Stewarts and the Willamette Valley Titans squaring off. We'll have more for you as we continue on to first pitch of Game 1 of our doubleheader coming up on 1490 The Score and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Field, John Young Field, the site for this matchup here tonight. For those that it appears that we may be having a little bit of issues with accessing our website for the video stream tonight, 541radio.com, 1490 The Score's homepage there. So if you're having issues following the action, head to YouTube and search 1490 The Score. Give a follow to our station account there, and you'll be able to follow the games streaming live online on the YouTube channel, going straight there if you can't get access to it on our 541radio.com website at the moment. But we do have our best people working on it back in the office there. So hopefully we'll get that issue fixed for you here soon. Doc Stewarts Baseball here today is brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Doc Stewarts coming in, losing their last two games last night. Doc's falling against the Eugene Challengers 4-2 in Game 1, 6-3 in Game 2. They come in 14-8 on the season, 5-5 in Area 4 play. They are 3 games behind Willamette Valley, currently leading Area 4 with a 7-1 record. They are 15-7-1 overall, as they had a tie in the Papa's Pizza tournament that they went 1-3-1 at last week here in the Eugene area. And Willamette Valley struggled there in that tournament, facing some top quality teams, but they turned it on against Grants Pass last night, winning in those matchups 6-4 and 20-5 against the Nuggets last night. Let's take some time now here in the Supercuts pregame show to take a look at our Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Give them a call at 673-0363. We'll start out with the visiting Doc Stewarts, led led by head coach Jeremiah Robbins. Leading things off will be Caden Johnson, the shortstop, followed by Spencer Six, the catcher. Doran Gillespie batting in right field will hit third. Jonathan Stone will be the cleanup batter, starting at first base. In center field, hitting fifth is Jet Black, batting sixth, then playing in third is Cody Johnson. Luke Van Norman will DH in the seventh spot for the Doc Stewarts. He'll hit for starting pitcher Cade Meisner. Drake Bourgeois in left field, batting eighth, and Jacob Luther, the second baseman, will bat in the ninth spot to round out the starting nine for the Doc Stewarts. On the other side, for the Willamette Valley Titans, leading things off will be the shortstop, Bryce Betcher. For head coach Danny Sales, he's in his second year leading the team. He coached them back in 2017, had 1 year off, and is now back leading the Willamette Valley Titans. Coach Sales has Bryce Betcher from South Eugene High School leading things off. Batting in the second spot is Zach Hart, the first baseman. Hitting at third and pitching will be Walker Wanham, the three-batter. Hitting cleanup and behind the plate, Isaiah Burke. Batting at fifth and starting at third base is Cade Christ. Hitting at sixth and in right field is Trey Nelson. The second baseman is Wyatt Sales. He'll bat seventh. Hitting eighth and starting in left field is Aiden Bray. And rounding out the starting nine for Coach Sales in the Willamette Valley Titans will be Tristan Vidal. The Vidal will be in center field to round out the starting nine for the Willamette Valley Titans. And that is a look at your Cooper's Pest Control starting lineup, your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Make sure to give them a call for all your pest needs, 673-0363. Getting ready to go for first pitch. Coaches have exchanged the starting lineups at the plate, so that means we are drawing close to the start of this one. It's kind of an interesting night here tonight, as right behind us, like literally, I can turn around in my chair and look behind me, and I can see the Roseburg Renegades junior state baseball team made up of players that will be attending Roseburg High School. You've got kids that just wrapped up their freshman year and are playing their sophomore years next year, or kids that wrapped up their 8th grade year and are going to their freshman year at Roseburg High, and even one player that is a 7th grader that will be an 8th grader next year on the roster. They are playing right behind us. The Roseburg Renegades taking on the Springfield Millers here tonight, and so they are right behind us. We'll be able to try and keep some tabs on that, although it doesn't look like they're using the scoreboard. So unfortunately, that means we may not be able to keep tabs on what's going on with the scoreboard there. So finding out that our website, apparently there is a certificate that expired, that it wasn't supposed to expire until the 4th. But if you go to YouTube and you search 1490 The Score, you'll find the live stream there. We stream through the YouTube channel, and so if you go straight to YouTube, you can find the direct source of our video feed and be able to find it there. We have had a couple of people ask about it here at the park, and I know that people back at home probably trying to figure it out as well. But go to YouTube and search 1490 The Score. You'll find the video streaming on youtube.com as well. So hopefully that'll work out for everybody trying to view the game here this evening. I apologize that the website having some issues there online, but there are still ways to follow it, and we did put this link up on our Facebook page and on our Twitter accounts as well, so people can check that out there. We've got the link to the YouTube feed of the game as well. So a couple of ways to watch the game still. It is available online at 541radio.com. We're going to wrap up the Supercuts pregame show with that. We're going to stay right here as the Titans have taken the field. It is time to get to the top of the first inning, and Doc Stewarts will send Caden Johnson out to the plate to bat first for this team. They take on Walker Wanham, a big right-hander from South Eugene High School. He will graduate in 2020 from South Eugene. Will be graduating next school year. The big righty up there wearing the blue tops for the Titans, blue tops and gray trousers for the Docs as well. First pitch high for ball one, and we are underway in game one of our doubleheader here tonight. Caden Johnson, he wears the orange 5 on his back. Docs with the blue tops, the blue pullover tops with the orange numbers on the back, outlined in white. Foul ball up in the air and out of play for Johnson, and he's got a 1-1 count. Gray trousers with the blue stripe down the side, the blue stirrup socks for the Doc Stewarts as well. You've got the blue tops, Titans across the chest, numbers on the front and the back in white for the Titans. White trousers for them, the white caps with the blue bills as well, as Wanham misses high for a 2-1 count now against Caden Johnson. Underway in the top of the first, game one of our doubleheader. Caden Johnson comes in batting .366 this season for the Docs in that leadoff position. got on top of a breaking ball that was at the top of the strike zone. That one fouled on the right side. A basket over the shoulder attempt at the catch by first baseman Zach Hart, and it goes off the end of his glove and falls for a foul ball. Johnson will have a second chance at it at the plate with a 2-2 count. Taking a look around the diamond defensively for the Willamette Valley Titans behind the plate, signaling the pitch count, the pitch calls out to the mound is Isaiah Burke. Will run around the rest of the diamond here in this top of the first inning. 2-2 pitch coming up for Johnson out of the windup for Wanham. Breaking ball is high. Tried to get some spin on that one, did not bite. And it's a full count for Johnson as he leads things off for the Docs here in the first inning. The 3-2 pitch. Challenged him with a fastball at the bottom of the zone and fouled away by Caden. He'll have another look at it. Zach Hart out at first, Wyatt Sales at second, Bryce Betcher at short, and Cade Christ at third. We'll get to the outfield after the next pitch here for the Titans. Wanham's 3-2 again, swung on and missed for strike 3. Johnson goes down. Spencer Six will come to bat next. In the outfield for the Titans here in game 1 of our doubleheader, Aiden Bray in left, Tristan Vidal in center, and Trey Nelson in right. The left-handed hitting Spencer Six will dig in next. The catcher hits with one out and nobody on. Spencer comes up batting .279 on the year. The first pitch, a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. The 1-0 goes to a 2-0 count for Spencer. He will be one of 2 lefties in the lineup for the Docs tonight. Luke Van Norman getting a chance to DH here in this one. He will be the other lefty. A pitch taken for a strike. And that gives Spencer a 2-1 count. We're sitting back behind home, but on the third base side, our vantage point of tonight's game. High for ball 3. We could tell you whether or not a pitch is high or low pretty well, but whether it's inside or outside, it's a bit of a tough angle. We look pretty much right down the first base line from where we sit. A 3-1 pitch to Spencer, and he'll take a strike right underneath the letters on his chest on the 3-1 count. That pitch right at the top of the strike zone. Spencer digs back in. Another full count here for Walker Wanham against the Doc Stewarts batter, and time called by Spencer. That backhand he throws up while keeping the front hand still on the bat, ready to go in case he doesn't get granted that timeout. He did. The 3-2 pitch here. Takes high for ball 4. And Spencer will draw the walk. So he heads on down to first. 1 on with 1 out for the Doc Stewarts here in the top of the first inning, trying to get some momentum built up after a tough night last night at home against Eugene. Six drawing the walk. That is his 18th of the year. He is the leader in the team in that category. Batting is Doran Gillespie. He flares one to right field. Going opposite field for Doran on the first pitch he gets from Walker Wanham. Lines that one out into right. And that single will put runners at first and second for the Docs, and they've got their first hit of the ball game. Gillespie batting .303 on the season, connects on his first pitch. That one out to right field. Trey Nelson sending it back in. Up to second base goes Spencer Six. Spencer will take his lead at second. At first, with nobody holding him on, is Gillespie, and Jonathan Stone will bat with 2 on and 1 away. Down low on the first pitch to Stone, the cleanup hitter. Starts out with a 1-0 count. Last night we had a couple of hitting streaks that got continued. As Stone will hit one, a comebacker to the mound. It's fielded by Wanham. He throws a second for 1. The relay to first is in time to get Stone. They will force out Gillespie at second base on the comebacker. 1-6 on the putout at second. And then 6-3 for the finish. It goes to Wanham, to Betcher, to Hart. And that will finish off the Doc Stewarts here in the top of the first inning. Got a couple of runners on, but a double play will end it early. No runs on 1 hit, no Willamette Valley errors, and 1 man left on base for the Doc Stewarts. We will head to the bottom of the first inning. A scoreless ball game. Willamette Valley coming up to bat on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490. The Score.
swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Cade Meisner on the mound for the Doc Stewarts as we head to the bottom of the first. Meisner for the Doc Stewarts has thrown in 15 and 2/3 innings. He's making his 5th start of the year. He has a 3-0 record, a 3.57 ERA, 11 strikeouts and 7 walks in those 15 innings. Leading things off for Willamette Valley will be the shortstop, Bryce Betcher. From South Eugene High School, Betcher will take the first pitch from Meisner for strike one, and we are underway in the bottom of the first. Scoreless ball game here today so far, only half an inning into it. Tonight's game brought to you by Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Meisner's 0-1 pitch. Strike two taken at the bottom of the zone there for Betcher. And the shortstop finds himself behind 0-2. Bryce Betcher will be a senior next year, wrapping up his junior season. Was a first-team All-Southwest Conference infielder this last year for the Axe. Takes a breaking ball that carries outside for a 1-2 count. We'll look around the diamond defensively for the Doc Stewarts here in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-2 is hit to short, fielded, throw to first, just in time to get Betcher. Caden Johnson across the diamond. Looked like it caught him a little bit on a late hop at short, but he was able to field it cleanly, and on the run, that slow roller, he was able to pick, transfer, and throw just a half step in front of Bryce Betcher for out number one. That'll bring up Zach Hart, the first baseman, batting with one out and no one on. Hart is a left-handed batter. First pitch below the strike zone for ball one. 1-0 count for Hart. He'll take low again from Meisner and a 2-0 count. Zach Hart from Pleasant Hill High School, graduating here in 2019, planning to head to Chemeketa Community College next year. He chops at a high fastball and drives it into left field. It's going to die right on the chalk line. Bourgeois will get to it, sends it back in. That's a long single for Hart. He heads down to first base. Hitting that one, a line drive shot over the top of Cody Johnson at third. And into left field, dying in the long grass in the outfield right along that chalk line. 1 on, 1 away, and that brings up the pitcher, Walker Wanham. Wanham getting through the top of the first inning, leaving 2 runners stranded. He'll come up to try and help his own cause here from South Eugene High School. Puts the bat on the ball in the first pitch, and it goes by Jacob Luther, the second baseman, reaching to try and get that line drive, and he just cannot quite glove it. Just past his reach into center field. Jet Black there to pick it up. Up to second base went Zach Hart, breaking late on that one after waiting to see if Luther was able to get to that ball. A line drive shot to center for a base knock. Runners at first and second, still 1 away, and the cleanup hitter coming up. It'll be the catcher, Isaiah Burke. Burke, a right-handed batter, digs in with 2 men on, 1 in scoring position. Meisner trying to get out of it here. His first pitch inside for ball 1. Behind the plate, Spencer 6. Out at first base, Jonathan Stone. At second base, Jacob Luther. Caden Johnson at short, Cody Johnson at third. In the outfield from left to right, Drake Bourgeois, Jet Black, and Doran Gillespie, your starting 9 defensively for the Doc Stewarts. Ground ball to third base. Johnson charges. He goes to second for one. Luther's throw to first. He will not get it out of the glove. He was only able to get the one out. Docs will get the runner at second. That was Walker Wanham. Burke gets on to first with the fielder's choice. 2 down. And the Docs now can get one more out to leave a man stranded on base for the Titans here in the bottom of the first and keep it a scoreless ball game. Meisner will try to get out of it as he will face the 5-hitter Cade Christ, the starting third baseman. First pitch he takes for a strike. Cade Christ from Thurston High School. He will be a senior coming up next year. Meisner's 0-1 pitch. Chopped at. That was a high pitch up in the air. Could be playable for Stone in front of his own dugout now, charging in, and Jonathan Stone will make the catch in foul territory to wrap up the bottom of the first inning for the Titans. No runs on 2 hits, no Doc Stewart errors. 2 men left on base for Willamette Valley. It's scoreless through 1 inning of play. We'll head to the top of the second inning. Doc Stewart's coming up to bat when we return on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Top of the second inning, Doc Stewart's Baseball here tonight, brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Scoreless game so far. Both teams leaving a couple of men stranded in the first inning. Jet Black will lead things off for the Docs against Walker Wanham here in the second. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Walker Wanham giving up 1 hit and 1 walk in the first, but got a double play that he started to finish things off. A ball fouled off by Jet, and it'll give him a 1-1 count this season. Jet Black coming in. Currently batting .388 for the Doc Stewarts, one of the top numbers on the team. In fact, as I look through it, that is the top number for an everyday player. Chops one towards second, coming in to make the play, and a throw to first. Wyatt Sales will get the first out on a 4-3 put out, 1 down, and Cody Johnson will bat next for the Doc Stewarts. Hadn't really paid attention to who might be leading the team in certain categories. Cody Johnson steps in on the season. He's batting .318. Caden Johnson at .366 to start out the day. .388 for Jet. That is definitely the highest for an everyday player. Cade Meisner, if you just look at it straight as guys that have anywhere from 1 at-bat to 86 at-bats, Cade Meisner has a .429 batting average, but he's only had 7 at-bats this season. Ball fouled off for Cody Johnson. He's got a 1-1 count. Took the first one for ball 1 and fouls off the second pitch. His 1-1 delivery from Walker Wanham, the righty, out of his windup. Gets him to foul off a pitch that tails over the top of the Cyclone fence down the first base side and out of play. The foul ball cruising past the Doc Stewart's dugout on the first base side. The home Titans down the third base side. Overcast day here in in Springfield. The 1-2 fouled off yet again by Johnson. Stays on a 1-2 count. It is a cool night, expecting to only get cooler as the night wears on this overcast day. A bit breezy as well. 1-2 delivery here for Wanham. High, the count goes to 2-2. 67 degrees here as we're in the second inning of this opener of this doubleheader. 67 degrees, overcast and a bit breezy. Wind coming right to left across the diamond. Breaking ball for strike 3. Johnson will go down looking. For Wanham, that's his second punch out of the game. 2 down, and Luke Van Norman will bat, the DH for the Doc Stewarts. Van Norman hitting for the first time today, and it's been a little bit for Luke. 25 at-bats this season, hitting .240. They continue to have a bit of a revolving door at the DH position. First pitch high to the lefty, Van Norman. Trying to get a 1-2-3 inning on the mound, Walker Wanham. The big righty with a lot of pop behind that arm. Off speed, he catches the outside corner for a called strike, evens it up. A ball and a strike against Van Norman. Wish I had my speed gun still. I gave that away, donated it to a program somewhere, as that ball laced into left field for Van Norman. That's going to carry down the left field line. Van Norman has good speed. He's turned the corner. He's heading for second, and he's in, standing up. And it's a 2-out double for Luke Van Norman, as he will get the Docs a man in scoring position. Line drive shot down that left field line for Luke Van Norman as he picks up his first hit of the evening, a double, first extra base hit of the ball game for either side. And for Van Norman this year, that will be his first extra base hit of the year. And speaking of Luke Van Norman, he will be our interview guest in between games coming up today. So look forward to sharing a conversation I had with Luke Van Norman just a little while ago as we go from game 1 to game 2. Pitch bounces in to Drake Bourgeois, and it gets lost by the catcher Isaiah Burke. That one hit off the plate and took a high bounce up off of the protection there for Burke, and behind him tried to find it, and that ball just got away. The wild pitch will put Luke Van Norman at third base. A 1-0 count for Drake Bourgeois. Tapper back to the mound. Bourgeois will head down the line, but able to field and throw to first. Wanham will finish things off for a second consecutive inning. Docs will leave a man in scoring position, and it'll be Walker Wanham that helps make the final out of the frame. No runs on one hit, no errors for the Titans. One man left on base for the Doc Stewarts. Through an inning and a half, it's still scoreless between the Docs and the Titans on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Bottom of the second inning, scoreless ball game between the Doc Stewarts and the Willamette Valley Titans. A 1-1 count on a called strike to the starting right fielder, Trey Nelson, batting to lead things off in the bottom of the second for the Titans. He goes after a high breaking ball, gets on top of it, and lines it to center fielder, Jet Black. That breaking ball just hung there just a bit too much there for Meisner, and on with a leadoff single is Trey Nelson. Caden Meisner got through the first inning, gave up 2 hits, but 2 runners stranded on base for the Titans. No runs able to come around and score. Now Cade will have to work out of a man on first, looking to try and get a ground ball here out of second baseman Wyatt Sales. He squares to bunt and takes for a strike. Looking to try and sacrifice the runner over, but he takes the first pitch for strike 1. An 0-1 count here against Sales. Wyatt Sales from Cottage Grove High School, graduating here in 2019. The 0-1 pitch, got on top of it, grounds it, backhand, got in front of it, it's short, but it got by Caden Johnson. Backing up the play will be Bourgeois. Johnson actually kind of overran that play, thought he was going to have to backhand it, then tried to turn the glove around and field it in front of him, and it went off of his glove, and that'll be an error to the shortstop. So Sales finds his way on base. First missed play of the night for the Doc Stewarts. They've been playing some really clean baseball for a while, but they've found themselves a little snake bitten out in the field the last couple of games. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Now a sac bunt down the first base line goes foul for Aiden Bray, the left fielder. So a couple of runners in scoring position. And Willamette Valley is going to try to see if they can sacrifice them both over. We saw Sales attempt to bunt on the first pitch and then swing away. Still bunting here. That one gets down the first base line, then took a hard right turn into foul territory. Back to the plate will go Aiden Bray with an 0-2 count. That ball was down the first base side in the grass. Must either had a little bit of spin or hit a bump on the infield, and it took a right-hand turn to go into foul territory. So Bray with a couple of foul balls, and he will take for ball 1 on a pitch that didn't look like it missed by much. 1-2 count to the left fielder. Meisner pitching with 2 runners on base and nobody out so far here in the bottom of the second. Long look to second base, delivers the off speed, is lifted in the air to left field. It'll fall in front of Drake Bourgeois. Only 1 base advance for both runners, and that is a third runner on. Another single for the Titans. They are a team that can hit, and they've got the bases loaded with nobody out. And Tristan Vidal will bat next. Vidal, the center fielder, 9-hitter in the lineup. First pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. So the 9th hitter to the plate here in the lineup card. 4th batter here in the bottom of the second for the Titans. Fastball challenged him. That ball fouled off, and it ends up in foul territory anyways, but it hit off the batter. And back to the plate will come Tristan Vidal to do it again. That was our umpire in the field that caught that foul ball, calling it as Vidal was heading down the first base line. An 0-2 count for him. Chops after a high fastball. That ball up in the air, back behind home. Spencer will make the catch, turns to look back the runners. Make sure nobody tries anything sneaky with the bases loaded. The runner at third would have been the one that had to initiate everything, and that would have been a big ask to tag and try and score on a pop fly behind home. First out has been recorded. Catching the pop-up in foul territory. Spencer 6 makes the first out. Top of the lineup, Bryce Betcher will bat. Betcher 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out to short his first time up. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Top of the lineup here for Willamette Valley. A lot of big-time hitters in this lineup. Inside pitch. Misses to Betcher, who had a spin and kind of kept out of the way on that one. With 1 out, a 2-0 count here for Betcher. He'll take a strike at the knees. 2-1 count. Betcher just going to be a senior next year at South Eugene High School. He's been a long-time starter there for the Axe. Multi-sports star, playing in football as well and basketball. So he goes on a 2-1 pitch, fouls it back for strike two. Finds himself back to an even count, 2-2 against the leadoff man in the lineup card for Coach Danny Sales. Sales walking around with a big old cast on his left hand. Not sure, I didn't get a chance to ask him what he did to his hand to have it all wrapped up like he does. The 2-2 pitch. Betcher sends this one to left field, charging in. Bourgeois won't get to it, and then he bobbles it. Now bobbles it again. 2 runs will score on the single by Bryce Betcher. Betcher driving in two, and the Titans will take the early lead here in the second against Cade Meisner and the Doc Stewarts. Scoring was Trey Nelson. Wyatt Sales comes around to score as well. Doc Stewarts now down 2-0. First pitch swinging for Zach Hart. Fouls that one up in the air deep down left field line and out of play. Bourgeois will get credited with an error in left field on the second run. Second error of the inning for the Doc Stewarts. This pitch swinging in the air out to left field. Goes over the top of Drake Bourgeois and will roll to the fence. 1 run in. They're going to hold the second runner. Bray came in to score. Betcher held at third. And it's 3-0. Willamette Valley in top of the Doc Stewarts. Three to nothing. Bryce Betcher at third. Zach Hart now at second. And Walker Wanham, the pitcher, will bat. That one over the head of Bourgeois in left. First pitch swinging for Wanham is fouled off towards the artificial turf football field here at the Hamlin Sports Complex. Ground ball to short. They were playing in. Looking the runner back at third. The throw to first for Johnson. Caden will make the out at first. 2 down now for the Doc Stewarts. Playing in to cut the run off at home, and it works out. And now it'll go to Isaiah Burke, trying to keep things going with 2 down and 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch from Meisner off speed, hits the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Two down and 2 on. Swing and a miss for strike 2. At second base, Zach Hart. Bryce Betcher at third. 3 runs in so far for the Titans. Low and outside for Meisner. Can't get the hitter to chase. Burke, who's 0 for 1 in the game, a fielder's choice in the first inning. Looking to try and get on base for a second time tonight. Reaches for one. Softly hits it into center. Another run will score. Jet Black comes up with it. The throw cut off at the mound by Stone. That holds as Zach Hart at third. A 2-out single for Isaiah Burke drives in another run for the Titans. They're on top now 4-0. Doc Stewarts will have to get some offense going. It was the issue last night. They ended up with 8 hits in both games of the doubleheader last night for the Doc Stewarts, but just could never really break open a big inning, especially in game 2. They had the runners on base, just could never get the clutch hit they needed to drive in a few runs. Right now they've got a 4-0 deficit to dig out of. Meisner will deliver here in the bottom of the second, a first pitch strike against the 9-hitter to the plate, Cade Christ. 0 for 1 of the game for Christ. Flew out in foul territory to Jonathan Stone down the first base line. The 0-1 pitch off the hands and fouled back to the Cyclone. So quickly to an 0-2 count. Once again, the Doc Stewarts have gotten a couple of batters to a 2-strike count here in the second inning, but have not been able to finish it off. 2 outs, runners at first and third. Meisner's pitch fouled away again. Cade Christ, the 9th hitter to the plate for the Titans. And so far they've put together 4 runs on 4 hits and 2 Doc Stewart errors. Off speed in the dirt, knocked down by 6. And he will keep the runners where they're at. Meisner trying to get out of it here is 1-2 pitch inside, a 2-2 count. 2 away with 2 on, 2-2 count. Meisner's pitch, strike 3, got him looking. Cade Christ will go down, and that's the first punch out of the night for Cade Meisner. And that reminds us, folks, do not strike out when it comes to water for your home. Trust more well drilling, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and there were 2 men left on base for the Titans. They take the early edge, 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Top of the third inning, Doc Stewarts trail 4-0 against the Willamette Valley Titans. Tonight's game brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. First pitch misses for ball 1 to Jacob Luther leading things off. Doc's got to get some offense going. Low and inside, a 2-0 count for the 9-hitter. Jacob Luther coming in. He snapped out of a bit of a dry spell, breaking a 6-game hitless streak. Batting .296 now for the Doc Stewarts. Takes low and inside for a 3-0 count. He had been batting over .400 for much of this season, but his average with that 6-game hitless streak definitely took a hit. He's trying to dig out of that and get back into the hot streak that he started the summer season on. The 3-0 pitch to him, he takes for a strike. 3-1 count now for Jacob Luther. Walker Wanham on the mound for his third inning, now with some room to work with. Gets another strike across, it goes to a 3-2 count. Wanham has allowed just 2 hits so far in the ball game and has left men stranded in the first and second inning. A ground ball on the 3-2 pitch is fouled down the third base side for Luther. Docs have left 2 men stranded on base, both in scoring position. Just got to get some sort of string going together offensively. High for ball 4, and Luther will draw the leadoff walk from Wanham. And that'll put Luther on at first and up to bat. Top of the order for the Doc Stewarts. Caden Johnson up for a second time. Struck out swinging in the first. Docs have now seen a number of pitches from Walker Wanham and probably have a better idea about what to expect when they're at the plate as they go through for a second time. Walker Wanham listed at 6'7" as the first pitch fouled away by Johnson. Heads over. Ooh, that foul ball ended up here in between the 2 fields here at the Hamlin Sports Complex and then went between the 2 outhouses over there. Somebody's going to have to dig in between the 2 outhouses to get to that baseball. Oh, he got it pretty easily, actually. 0-1 pitch here to Johnson. Takes low for a 1-1 count. Caden. And the leadoff spot has been very good this year. He comes in with a 5-game hit streak going at the moment. I believe he's gotten it up to 6 before earlier on in the season. Jonathan Stone has the longest hit streak of the season for the Doc Stewarts this year at 8 games. The 1-1, Johnson got underneath that pitch, into the air, out towards left, making the catch. Back to first will go Jacob Luther. In left field, Aiden Bray making the out, 1 away. Oh for 2 now for Caden Johnson on the night. Up to bat next is Spencer Six. Six drew a walk in the first inning, was left stranded at second. Wanham's first pitch, swung on and missed by Spencer. Wanham here in the third inning, only now getting into the 40 pitch count area. Will not be able to, there's a strike taken by Six, an 0-2 count for him with 1 out. Will not be able to get a look at what's going on in the bullpen for the Titans if they ever have any action. We are a bit screened out from that. Can see the Doc Stewarts bullpen, so we can keep you apprised of what's going on there. The 0-2 to 6 misses on the spot there for Wanham, and he will take a moment to gather himself after missing on that pitch. Wind blowing around, you could see his jersey whipping around just a little bit as he was walking around the mound. It blows from the first base side out to left field. As the 1-2 to Spencer broke quite a bit, but it just misses the strike zone. A 2-2 count now for the lefty Spencer Six. That one had a lot of movement to it. I thought it was going to end up well high, and it cut down near the, just above the knees for Spencer Six. Isaiah Burke looks to the dugout for the next pitch selection. At first, Jacob Luther with a lead. A 2-2 pitch to Spencer. Runner going. Foul tip. And a throw down to second base. Not in time. Spencer will strike out. They can't get to strike him out, throw him out. A stolen base for Jacob Luther. But the third strikeout of the game now for Walker Wanham. 2 down with a man in scoring position, and Doran Gillespie will try to change that. Gillespie, his first time up, had a single to right field on the very first pitch he saw. Wanham's first delivery. Line drive back off the glove at the mound, but it goes to second base. Wyatt Sales will field, and he throws to first to get the final out. Gillespie not wasting time in his at-bat for a second time, but the hard line drive back to the mound slowed down by the pitcher and taken by the second baseman. That'll finish things off once again. The Doc Stewarts will leave a man stranded in scoring position. No runs on no hits. There were no errors for the Titans, and the Docs leaving the one man on base. We will head to the bottom of the third. 4-0 to Willamette Valley in front of the Doc Stewarts on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Leading things off for a second consecutive inning, Trey Nelson will start out there for the Willamette Valley Titans. An 0-1 pitch, and that's a foul ball. He fouled off the first one, and here a pitch coming high and inside. He tried to duck out of the way, but they try to teach you early on when you duck out of the way of a pitch, you got to drop the baseball bat too, and that's the exact reason right there. Trey Nelson left the bat up as he ducked down underneath the pitch, and it hit off the barrel of his bat for a foul ball, so he's got an 0-2 pitch. It ends up outside in the dirt for a 1-2 count. You do not see it very often, but that is something they teach from an early age. Tuck the bat down as you duck out of the way of a pitch so that you don't get an unintentional foul ball. A swing and a miss for Nelson, and he'll go down with the strikeout. Second of the game for Cade Meisner, who's out for his third inning of work. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. He ended the second with a strikeout looking against Cade Christ, gets one swinging against Trey Nelson, and that reminds us that don't strike out when it comes to water for your home. Call More Well Drilling, 541-459-4039. With one out, first pitch, a called strike against Wyatt Sales. Sales 0 for 1 in the game, reached on an error, but came around to score in the second. He'll take a strike at the knees for an 0-2 count as Meisner working quickly here in the third inning, trying to come back from a tough second inning where he faced 9 batters and gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. Docs did have a pair of errors. The 0-2 to Sales is fouled away. It's the bottom half of the lineup here for the Titans. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 Doc Stewart errors so far, helping the Titans get to where they're at. Meisner's 0-2, breaking ball, hit third base side into left field, diving for it. Cody Johnson can't get there. Bourgeois will come up to get the baseball, and Sales will have a single. Just a one-hopper into left field past a diving Cody Johnson. So 1 on, 1 out. Aiden Bray will bat. The left fielder had a single in the second. First pitch, he'll single this one to center. Yes, it falls in front of Jet Black. He fires it in, trying to get Wyatt Sales at second. But Sales read it at least enough to be able to get there just ahead of the throw from Jet Black. And so Bray gets his second hit of the game. Single back up the middle. He's 2 for 2 in the contest, and the 9-hitter Tristan Vidal will bat now, 0 for 1 in the game, hitting with 2 men on and 1 out. First pitch for Meisner is low for ball 1. One-0 pitch. Meisner checking second. Runners at first and second. The pitch outside for ball 2. Stone playing in front of the runner down at first base. Pitch misses low and outside to go to a 3-0 count now for Vidal. Meisner trying to deliver a 3-0 strike. Keep Vidal at the plate. He will miss high and inside for ball 4. And the Docs are going to start getting some action in the bullpen. And out of the dugout comes Bo Kearns out to have a conversation with Cade Meisner. Saw bullpen catcher Sam Guastafaro heading out to the bullpen here. Right now I just see Coach Prock out there. He's going to be keeping an eye on things. The righty warming up is back behind everybody. I can't get it. Oh, it's Casey Pettibone that's out there in the bullpen getting a little loose. So with the walk, the bases are loaded now for Willamette Valley. They already lead 4-0 against the Doc Stewarts. Just 1 out here in the third. Meisner trying to work through yet another jam. A double play ball would be perfect at this point in time. His first pitch to the top of the order here, Bryce Betcher takes low and outside for ball 1. Betcher a 2-run single in the second inning. 1 for 2 on the contest. His 1-0 pitch. Got underneath that one, lifted into left field. Therefore, it is Bourgeois. He'll catch the throw coming in. It goes to the third baseman, Cody Johnson, who knocks it down. They cannot get the throw to the plate. They were not going to get Wyatt Sales, who was tagging and heading home and scoring before the throw would have even had a chance to get to the plate. A sacrifice fly for Bryce Betcher. The runner at third, Wyatt Sales, the only runner to advance. Everybody else stays put. So runners at first and second, 2 down. And up to bat will be Zach Hart, the lefty. First pitch swinging, fouled away. Oh, 1 pitch coming up from Meisner, trying to limit the damage here. Doc's trailing 5-0 now. Out in front, that ball lifted in the air to Jet in center, and Black underneath it for the final out. Out in front, Zach Hart just didn't get a lot behind that one, and Jet able to easily camp underneath it for the final out. That'll wrap things up, but Willamette Valley gets one more. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Doc Stewart errors. 2 men left on base for the Titans. We will head to the top of the 4th inning. Doc Stewart's trailing 5-0 against the Willamette Valley Titans on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Start the top of the 4th inning. Jonathan Stone leading things off for the Doc Stewarts. 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. First pitch swinging here, a breaking ball. He loops this one into foul territory down the left field side for strike 1. Doc Stewart's Baseball Today brought to you by Flyway Travel. Book your travel plans with their travel experts, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue in Roseburg. The 0-1 pitch is fouled away by Stone. Walker Wanham jumping ahead in the count. 0-2 against Stone, the cleanup hitter for the Doc Stewarts. Jonathan this season has been batting .324. He'll take a breaking ball that carries outside to take the count to a 1-2 setup. Welcome everybody in that's watching online. Hopefully you enjoy the view there from behind home with the GoPro. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt, scooped up by the catcher, Isaiah Burke, who fires down to Hart at first to make the out. So Stone will go down with the strikeout, 1 away. Jet Black will bat next. That is the 4th strikeout of the game for Walker Wanham. He faces Jet Black with nobody on and 1 down. Jet 0 for 1 in the game. First pitch swinging, he gets underneath this one into left field. That ball looks well struck, running. 2 players get there, and they nearly collide, but making the catch will be Tristan Vidal. Aiden Bray was right there as well. That ball was well struck, but it just hangs up too much. Jets launch angle on that one. That's been a key phrase in baseball for a little while now. Launch angle on that one, just got the ball too high in the air. If he had a little bit lower trajectory on that one, it might have carried out of here. First pitch swinging for Cody Johnson now with 2 outs. That ball in the air, right field. That'll get into foul territory for strike 1. Cody Johnson 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out looking in the second. Docs have not had a hit since that second inning. That was a double by Luke Van Norman. He waits on deck. Docs with a single in the first by Doran Gillespie. Their only 2 hits of the game against Walker Wanham. The big righty out of the windup. The 0-1 is high for a 1-1 count. Other games going on tonight in Area 4. Medford is at Klamath Falls for a doubleheader that got started at 6 o'clock. Pitch low for a 2-1 count. Eugene and Grants Pass are both off today, but they will play a doubleheader coming up tomorrow. The 2-1 to Johnson. Cody takes inside, sliding back out of the way. It's a 3-1 count now for the Doc Stewarts third baseman. A 3-1, low for ball 4. A 2-out walk issued for the Docs. Johnson down to first, and that brings up Luke Van Norman. 1 for 1 on the day for him. The DH for the Doc Stewarts will dig in, the lefty. Went down the left field line last time. Going opposite field. Van Norman looking to try and get another ball to drop in. Breaking ball on the first pitch hits the outside corner from the righty to the lefty. Wanham has been good at staying ahead of batters. Early strikes in the counts. The 0-1, another breaking ball. A steady dose of breaking balls on the outside corner to Van Norman. He has not taken a cut yet, and he falls behind 0-2. Try to get you some updates on that Medford and Klamath Falls series going on down in Cave Falls at Kiger Stadium. Keep you updated on the Area 4 standings. Ground ball towards second. Sales will go to second base for the out. Appears he may not have known there were already 2 outs, but he gets the force at second to finish things off. Fielder's choice for Van Norman finishes the inning. Doc Stewarts leave one man stranded on base, and once again unable to bring anybody in. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Doc Stewarts trailing 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Walker Wanham, the pitcher, will start things off for Willamette Valley. And the first pitch he gets from Cade Meisner, he grounds to second base, and off from his knees, the throw by Jacob Luther. Offline to first, got away, backing up the play. Spencer Six there. Wanham will only get to first. I'm not sure. Looking down the first base line, I was kind of obstructed. Did it look as if Luther might have had a chance to throw him out at first, or was he going to beat out that throw? So, going to give him a credit for a single on that one. Luther doing a great job to keep that ball on the infield and almost make a play at it, but it felt like Wanham was going to have a single on that one as the ball laced down the left field line by Burke. Foul territory for strike 1. So Walker Wanham gets on with a leadoff single against Cade Meisner. Meisner into his 4th inning of work. Again, Casey Pettibone was throwing earlier for the Docs in the bullpen. Strike taken by Burke, and the cleanup hitter. He's got an 0-2 count against him. He does have an RBI single back in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2 in the contest. Meisner's 0-2. High fastball is lifted high in the air. Deep left center on the run. Jet Black and Bourgeois, neither will be able to get there in time. That goes underneath the fence for a ground rule double as they throw their hands up immediately. Jet had that one go just over his glove in deep left center. Had about everything he could to get to that baseball, and it just out of his reach. So that'll be a ground rule double for Isaiah Burke. Runners at second and third for Willamette Valley. That might have worked out in the Doc's favor, and once the ball got over Jet, for that to go under the fence. Otherwise, you might have seen Walker Wanham come around to score from first. Ground rule double. First pitch swinging now for Cade Christ. That ball to left field will get in. One run comes in. They hold the runner at third, and that will just be a one-run single for Cade Christ. Picks up his first hit of the game. And it's 6-0. Willamette Valley on top of the Doc Stewarts. Runners at first and third. On the mound, Cade Meisner now has given up 12 hits in this ball game. Misses low on the first pitch to Trey Nelson. Nelson 1 for 2. 2 hits in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, and 3 here in the fourth for Willamette Valley, a team that just can stroke the baseball. Pitch in the dirt, a 2-0 count now for Nelson. Docs with just 2 hits, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Getting out hit by quite a bit here in this one. Pitch fouled off on the 2-0 for Trey Nelson. Some action again in the bullpen for the Docs. I believe that might be, it is still Pettibone out there throwing, getting loose again. 6-0 the score. The 2-1 misses outside to Trey Nelson. Gives him a 3-1 count. Nelson last time up struck out swinging. Strike on the inside corner. Full count now. At first base, Cade Christ. At third base is Isaiah Burke. The 3-2 pitch is in the air. That one in back behind first. A catch made by Jonathan Stone, who will throw to the plate. The runner at third, Burke, goes back to the bag he was threatening, and Stone just wanted to get it to the dish to make sure he didn't go anywhere. So a soft pop fly to first for Trey Nelson will be out number 1 here in the fourth inning. So you got one away. Runner still on the corners. Wyatt Sales will bat. He's been on base twice as he fouls one off. A laser down the right field side. Hitting off of the cinder block hitting facilities they have down there. Meisner taking a look at first before coming set. His 0-1 delivery to Sales. Strike on the inside corner. Works it in there to get ahead in the at-bat, but the 0-2 count or a 1-2 count, and that 2 strike counts just have not necessarily worked out the best for Cade Meisner here tonight. He's not been able to finish off hitters. Sales 1 for 2 in the game, but reached on an error in the second, so he's been on base twice. He fouls off a pitch to stay alive on the 0-2 count. Single last time he was up back in the third. He has scored twice in the game. Only player to score twice for Willamette Valley so far. 4 runs in the second inning, 1 in the third, and another here in the fourth to get out to a 6-0 lead for the Titans. Won last night 20-5 against Grants Pass in game 2. Breaking ball out in front, but Sales will hold off. Got out on that front foot, but did not get around. A hitter's been okay, a check swing. It's going to instead be called for a swing and a miss for strike 3 on Wyatt Sales. Well, we'll wait and see if that ends up being the final call. The home umpire said that Sales went around with his wrists. And they have overruled it with the infield umpire. And that'll bring out Jeremiah Robbins to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. And Robbins is going to argue that the home plate umpire, who had a front row seat to that call, who made it initially, why the home plate umpire is getting himself overruled by the infield umpire. So as it stands right now, after the overrule on the infield umpire, that it'll be a 1-2 count for Wyatt Sales with one out, unless Jeremiah Robbins can talk the umpire. And they overturn it again. It's going to be a strikeout. So Wyatt Sales will go down swinging. That's a bit of a first. I have not seen an umpire get a rule changed and then a ruling changed again, but works out in the Doc Stewarts' favor. It'll be the third strikeout of the game for Cade Meisner, and Aiden Bray will bat next. He's had a hot day at the plate, 2 for 2. He takes the first pitch for strike one. So one coach comes out and is able to argue in his team's favor, get the rule changed. The other coach comes out, able to argue and get it rule changed back in his favor. That's a first. Right now, the Doc Stewarts fighting to get anything they can going. A 1-1 count for Aiden Bray after a breaking ball misses low and outside from Meisner. Trying to be careful with the 8-hitter, who is a pair of singles so far. Takes at the knees for a called strike two. Bray started out the game with a single to center field and then followed it with another one in his second at-bat in the third. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Six comes up with it, throws down to first, and they'll get him there. Fourth strikeout of the game for Cade Meisner. And the Doc Stewarts will limit it to just one more run for Willamette Valley here in the fourth. Well, 3 hits to lead off the fourth inning for the Titans, and then Cade Meisner retires 3 straight with back-to-back strikeouts to finish it off. In the fourth inning, 1 run on 3 hits. There were no Doc Stewart errors. 2 men left on base for the Titans. After 4 innings of play, it's 6-0. Willamette Valley in front of the Doc Stewarts on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Walker Wanham on the mound for Willamette Valley. He has been given a 6-0 lead to work with against the Doc Stewarts. He'll face the 8-9-1 hitters here in the fifth. Doc Stewarts baseball on The Score tonight, brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Lead things off, Drake Bourgeois will take high for ball one. Bourgeois 0 for 1 in the game. A tapper back to the mound that finished things off in the second when the Docs had a runner at third. Taking low. Bourgeois has a 2-0 count. Swings. Foul ball, make it a 2-1 count. The 2-1 fouled off by Bourgeois. He got a good cut around on that one. Two-two count for Bourgeois, leading things off in the fifth for the Doc Stewarts, and the ball fouled away again. He'll stay alive against Walker Wanham. Wanham has not allowed a hit since back in the second inning. That was the last time Bourgeois was up, was back in the second. Swing and a miss. He goes after a pitch upstairs near the eyeball, and he will go down with the punch out. Fifth strikeout of the game for Walker Wanham. Jacob Luther will bat. He reached on a walk in the third. Docs have left one man on base in every inning so far. A walk in the third and the fourth, the last two runners to get on base for the Doc Stewarts against Walker Wanham. The first pitch swinging for Luther. He lines into center field. Docs will get their first base hit in 3 innings. And Luther gets himself on. Docs got to dig themselves out of a hole, but that is the way to get things started. Get one man on base. First pitch swinging for Luther. He is 1 for 1 in the ball game now. That'll bring up the top of the lineup. Looking for his first base hit of the evening. Caden Johnson will stand in. Doc Stewart's down 6-0 in the ball game. Johnson with that 5-game hit streak. He was 2 for 3 in game 2 of the doubleheader last night of the matchup against the Eugene Challengers. Had a single and a double against the Challengers last night. Also had a walk in that game. We'll take a breaking ball inside. Count goes to 2-0. Johnson back in there with Luther on at first. Chops one towards short, charging in. Betcher will field. He throws to second for 1. The throw to first not going to be in time. They get 1 out. There's 2 away. As Luther forced out at second. 6-4 on the put out for Betcher. That retires Luther, and they get the lead runner. 1 on. Fielder's choice for Caden Johnson. Still seeking that first hit to keep his hit streak going. 1 on. Spencer Six will try to keep things moving for the Docs. First pitch, got underneath it, fouls it back, heading towards the field behind us. Surprised we haven't gotten any foul balls from the other field coming our direction from behind us, but we've sent a couple their direction. The 0-1 pitch to Spencer. That one hard hit, gets past that shortstop. And the Docs will have 2 runners on with a couple of base hits here in the 5th inning. Look, it just takes a couple of guys to get things going, and maybe everybody else starts to catch fire as well. The Docs are hoping some of that's starting to come around as they get through the lineup for a 3rd time against Walker Wanham. Six at first, Caden Johnson at second now, and Doran Gillespie will bat. Gillespie's had a couple of hard hit balls. The first one opposite field to right. Last one was a comebacker to the mound. It went off the glove of Wanham and ricocheted right to Wyatt Sales at second to make the out. He hits a dribbler towards third, though. It's picked up by Cade Christ, who throws to first to retire Gillespie and finish things off in the 5th for the Doc Stewarts. So once again, the Doc Stewarts get a couple of runners on and are unable to bring anybody around. No runs on 2 hits. There were no Willamette Valley errors. 2 men left on base. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. Doc Stewarts trailing 6-0 on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Doc Stewarts trailing 6-0 against the Willamette Valley Titans. Tonight's ball games brought to you here on The Score by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. New man on the mound for the Doc Stewarts will be Casey Pettibone. The call to the pen brought to you by Shelby and Migulena Construction, Douglas County's your local leader for any project, big or small, 30 years of quality, affordable work. Call Shelby and Migulena or visit their website at webuildhouses.com. So Meisner comes out of the game, and it looks like they will make a straight switch for the pitcher. The DH will stay in. Pettibone on the mound for the Doc Stewarts. First pitch takes the batter, Tristan Vidal, will take outside for ball one from Casey Pettibone. So we'll get you the numbers here on Cade Meisner as a line drive shot goes right past Pettibone and into center field. Line drive shot for Tristan Vidal. He'll pick up his first hit of the game. A single to center, one on to lead things off in the bottom of the the fifth. It is a 6-0 lead. Willamette Valley in front. Top of the order here, Bryce Betcher will bat one on and nobody out. Casey Pettibone for the Doc Stewarts. He's pitched 5 innings, making his 4th appearance, has a 9.80 ERA. 9 strikeouts, only 4 walks in his time on the mound. He's had limited appearances on the rubber so far, mostly just short relief appearances for the Doc Stewarts. He misses inside to Betcher for a 1-0 count. The Titans have scored in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings, leading 6-0. 6 runs on 13 hits. Runner going. It was a strike at the plate. 6 can't get the ball out of the glove to be able to throw to second. Vidal will get in safely with the stolen base. A strike called at the plate against Betcher. 1-1 count for the hitter, but a man in second base for the Titans. Nobody out so far here in the 5th for Willamette Valley. Betcher takes in the dirt, knocking it down. 6. Will hold the runner out at second base. 2 balls and a strike. Pettibone, the righty from Umpqua Valley Christian School, will be a senior this next year with the Monarchs. Off-speed pitch is high, a 3-1 count. So a class of 2020 facing Bryce Betcher, another class of 2020. Betcher in this one is 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs and a run scored. He's got a man in scoring position here and a 3-1 count. Pettibone's pitch, fouled down the right side, gets out of play. So we'll have a full count for Bryce Betcher with nobody out and 1 on at second. It's been all Willamette Valley in this one so far. Pettibone takes a look to second. Now will deliver to the plate. Betcher waits. He'll take in the dirt. That ball gets away from 6. He'll throw to third. No, he will not. He hangs on. Goes right down the line at third. Taking 6 towards the bag as Vidal taking third on the wild pitch. And 6 thought about it, but did not fire to third. Really did right. He went through every motion. All he didn't do was let go of the baseball. Zach Hart will bat. The lefty takes the first pitch for strike 1. Runners on the corners with nobody out. 0-1 count for Hart, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Last time up, flew out to center field. Takes low and outside for ball 1. Oh boy, that one got close. Foul ball from the other field coming our direction. Runner going from first, a throw down to second. They do not get the out there, and a run will score at the plate. 7-0, Willamette Valley taking the lead. Double steal will work out. A 2-1 count at the plate for Hart. Casey Pettibone's pitch. Outside, a 3-1 count now. Pettibone with a 3-1 count will kick and deliver. Line drive to center field. It gets down in front of Jet. He'll send it back in. They hold the runner at third. Betcher will stay 90 feet from home. A single by Zach Hart. The Titans continue to put the pressure on here in the 5th inning. That ball got down in center field. One hop to Jet Black. Got it back in quickly. That helps hold Bryce Betcher at third base. Runners on the corners again with nobody out for Willamette Valley. And up next is Walker Wanham, the pitcher. First pitch swinging for him. He pops this one up in the air. Foul territory down the first base side. Jonathan Stone will make the catch. Walker Wanham goes down for the first out. So Pettibone able to get one out on the fly ball in foul territory. Up next, Isaiah Burke, the catcher. He is 2 for 2 with an RBI. A single and a double, and reached on a fielder's choice, so he's 2 for 3, excuse me. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is fouled up, and that is going to clear things and head back behind us. And, ooh, that ball making it close to a couple of fans over there hanging out. A 1-1 count for Burke as Pettibone trying to find a way out of things here. One run in so far in the 5th. Runner going from first to second. Got him at second base. Zach Hart caught stealing as he took off early. Pettibone stepped off, got a late throw to second, and the tag applied by Jacob Luther to get the second out. Isaiah Burke at the plate with the 1-1 count. Now 2 down and a man at third. Takes low for a 2-1 count. Pettibone 1 out away from getting out of the 5th, only allowing the 1 run. Misses inside for a 3-1 count. Cade Meisner goes 4 innings of work for the Doc Stewarts here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Unfortunately, he's going to get tallied with 12 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. The 3-1 is low for ball 4. Pettibone will issue a walk, his second of the frame. And that puts runners on the corners yet again for Willamette Valley, excuse me. There's so many players from South Eugene. I wanted to call them that for a second there. Pettibone will face Cade Christ, the third baseman. Had a single his last time up on the very first pitch he saw. He's 1 for 3 in the contest. Drove in a run with that single, and he'll take for ball 1. At first base, Isaiah Burke, the catcher. At third base is Bryce Betcher, both reaching on walks. That ball in the air for Christ. Well struck out towards left field. That one going back to the wall. That one is gone. It's a 3-run shot for Cade Christ. That'll clear the bases here in the 5th inning with 2 down. Christ gets his second hit of the game. He now has 4 RBI. And with 4 runs now here in the 5th inning, Willamette Valley is going to take it. It is final. I was just trying to do the math in my head, and Yeah, sure enough, it's a 10-run rule victory for Willamette Valley. They will put together 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning to take it 10-0 in Game 1. We will take a 2-minute break and come back with your Roseburg Disposal postgame show after this on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That is Roseburg Disposal. Well, for the first time this season, your Roseburg Dr. Stewarts will fall and get shut out in a ball game. Docs have not gotten shut out all year, but here in Game 1 of tonight's doubleheader, the Doc Stewarts will suffer a 10-0 loss against the Willamette Valley Titans. No runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for the Docs, 10 runs on 15 hits, and no errors for Willamette Valley. Walker Wanham will get a 5-inning complete game victory, and Cade Meisner will take the loss in this one. A tough one in Game 1, follows up a tough night last night for the Doc Stewarts against the Eugene Challengers. Docs, for the first time, had lost back-to-back games last night. They had never lost back-to-back games all season. Last night losing 2 straight against Eugene. Today they add another to the list. They have now had their first losing streak of the season, losing 3 straight. They'll try to right the ship and get one back against the Willamette Valley Titans coming up in Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. It was all Willamette Valley from the get-go. Doc Stewarts get 1 hit in the first and 1 hit in the second, had 2 hits in the fifth. That's all they could really muster. They did leave a man on base in every inning, leaving a total of 6 runners on base in the ball game. For the Willamette Valley Titans, they really pile it on after getting shut out in the first inning, leaving a man at first and third. The Titans, they score in every other inning on this one. 4 runs in the second, 1 run in the third, 1 run in the fourth, and 4 runs in the fifth to make it a 10-0 ball game as the Titans get the victory. Ending the ball game was Cade Christ on a 3-run homer that sent it to the 10-run mercy rule. So a tough one here today for the Doc Stewarts. Can they put it together mentally to come back for Game 2 and see if they can come out and get a victory? It has been one of those questions all season long on the Docs with their mental space, their mindset in the game. Can they get it all put together out there on the field with the talent they have. We'll see if they can do it here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. We will take a 2-minute break. When we come back with more of your Roseburg Disposal postgame show, we will take a look at individual statistics from this one, name our Joe's Towing Player of the Game for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. This is the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Back after this 2-minute break on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Back here with the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Let them make the run to the dome for you tonight. Game 1 of this doubleheader does not go Doc Stewart's way. Docs will try to bounce back with Game 2 coming up. They will take on the Willamette Valley Titans in about 20 minutes from now, trying to get a split on the road and trying to end a 3-game losing streak. Docs fall 10-0 in 5 innings. No runs on 4 hits, 2 errors. 6 men left on base for the Doc Stewarts. On the other side, for the Titans, 10 runs on 15 hits. No errors for the Titans and 8 men left on base. Getting the win is Walker Wanham. He goes 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Taking the loss is Cade Meisner. Meisner in the ballgame goes 4 innings, gave up 12 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Pitching a 2/3 of an inning in relief, Casey Pettibone gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks and no strikeouts. Looking at the offensive numbers for the Doc Stewarts, only 4 hits in the ballgame. For Spencer, 6, 1 for 3. Top of things, and get that high that they were feeling early in the season. Docs fall 14-9 on the year, 5-6 in area play. As for Willamette, 8-1 in area 4 play, 7-1 overall. Before we break here and wrap things up with game broadcast, let's check in with John, who has a score update on things going in area 4, Medford and Klamath Falls. It's our Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. Building relationships, building projects, building materials. Garrettson Building Supply supporting our community for over 90 years. Josh, what do we got on the scoreboard?
Hey, thank you. So far, what we got Medford is Medford Mustangs are winning here against Klamath Falls. Any other updates we get, we'll pass it along.
All right, we do have the Roseburg Renegades going on behind us. They're not using the scoreboard, so we can't tell you a score from that. I'll see if we can pick one up here as we get ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Docs fall in Game 1, 10-0 in 5 innings. Coming up, Game 2 in just a few moments. Before we get to Game 2, we'll have another player interview for you coming up as we get a chance to catch up with Luke Van Norman. Not a bad day for him. He gets a double, named our player of the game, and we get to talk to him coming up in Game 2 here in just a moment. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk with Luke Van Norman here in between games. For those watching online, if you're watching on our YouTube page, just go back to our YouTube channel page and then find the broadcast for Game 2 as we will start a new one. And for those listening on the radio, just stay right here. We will be back in just a couple moments with our interview with Luke Van Norman. Do not go anywhere. Game 2 of our doubleheader between the Dock Stewarts and the Willamette Valley Titans coming up when we return on 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.